Welcome to Fairview Baptist Church in Lindsay. Not only do we want to minister to the people who regularly attend Fairview, but we also want to minister to those who live within the city of Kawartha Lakes with the good news of Jesus Christ. Come on in and join us for worship. It is our prayer that you'll be blessed. A number of months ago, I booked a speaker to come. And I was just making some final arrangements to make sure he can make it here next Sunday. I tried contacting him about a couple of weeks ago, just to see how things were, and I didn't answer my email. I tried his cell phone, his cell phone was full, all his messages were full. I checked his website and found a phone number, and I called that phone number. I said, just looking for Waji Iskander, just wondering where he is. And they said he was in a very bad car accident, and he's in the hospital. So needless to say, next week our special missions emphasis speaker is unable to join us. But in God's sovereignty, Tim Arkell called me about a week ago. He said, "Hey, John, I know that you have an Adopt a Village program through your church there in Bangladesh, and the leader for the Bangladesh Baptist churches is in town. People's Church has brought him to Ontario, and he's available to come and speak." I said, well, let's have him come speak this Sunday for Missions Emphasis. So all the way from Bangladesh, we have Leor Sakar, who is the General Secretary of the Baptist churches there. And before he comes, I'm going to ask Tim Arkell with Partners International to come and just share a few words. Welcome.
Great to be here again. I was here in February. Maybe a familiar face now. What a nicer day of driving today was. Boy, jeez, big difference. Just a few words about Partners International to help you figure out, how does this happen? How does somebody from Bangladesh end up in our church today? Kind of where did this all come from? So we're celebrating 50 years of mission activity around the world. We've been in 56 countries and 122 ministries. And you say, that's a lot of work. And it is. And there's a lot of ministry happening by a lot of godly people around the world. All of our partners around the world are indigenous. That meaning they are local to their country, to their culture, to their language, to their custom. We don't send Western missionaries, and we believe in our God-given brothers and sisters around the world with their vision to see things happening. And they're in the most difficult places that aren't very easy to get at, places that are very unpopular and frankly just difficult, and at times life-threatening. And so Leor is here today, and he's sharing about the ministry in Bangladesh as an example of one of those. Our approach to our work is believing, as I said, in the local leaders. You know, we have brothers and sisters around the world that have gifts like we do here. They have passions and they have vision. And we have so much in Canada to come alongside that vision and passion to help them reach that potential. Their cultures and many of their countries, their government's not helping. The church isn't established as much as it is here, so that's a difficult thing. And so that's our part. Our prayer support and coming alongside and linking is really what Partners International has been about for 50 years. Raising the awareness, raising the funds in Canada, and making the connection to churches like yours. It is so great to be here because your church has adopted a village through Partners International in Bangladesh. And it's so neat that your missionaries are on your wall there with all your other missionaries. We just came in and I showed Leor that, and he was so pleased to see his couple there. And it's an amazing ministry what they do. And it's a very holistic approach. As Leor will share this in just a moment. But I think it's unique too. Gary, right here, Mr. Gary. Wave your hand, Gary. Everyone knows Gary. I've been here twice, and he's very notable, right? You can remember him. But Gary and his wife, Rosemary, they were on a trip with Partners International and got to see Leor in Bangladesh. So he's a good voice to talk to, too, if you want to know what it's like a little bit more there. And I just think it's so neat because we have 12 villages right now that are currently adopted in Bangladesh by some churches and other individuals in Canada. And Leo says he's got about 6 more. He'd like to bring the couples through the training. So pray with us as we're heading into this new ground, because we're finding some amazing work that is happening. Leo is involved in a very large ministry. Leo Sakar is a reverend. He's a pastor of the Bangladesh Baptist Church Fellowship. It's a 480 church convention, so it's a big ministry. And 15 homes for children. There's a hospital. There's schools. And it's a lot. It's an awful lot. So would you do this? Would you be kind enough to give him the biggest Lindsay welcome he could ever have today? Here we go. Come on up.
Welcome. Thank you very much. Can you hear me? Thank you very much. Let me try. Is it working? It's stuck. Yeah, this light is on.
Light is on.
Hello. It's working now. Thank you. Thank you, Brian. So, hello. Hello. I thought this problem is only in Bangladesh, but well, thank you very much for this wonderful welcome and the hospitality, and opening this door for me to come and stand before you. I'm not worthy to stand before you. Thank you very much, Pastor, and I'm thankful to Partners International as well. And in the beginning, I want to say a big thank you to you, because you are really partnering with us so that we can reach out the villagers in the village and many Muslims and the Hindus. And thank you for adopting a village in Bangladesh. So, I'm from Bangladesh. I know many of you may not have heard about Bangladesh, because this morning when I'm here, I was talking with a senior member here, and he was asking me where it is. He thought it's in India or somewhere in Africa, but it's it's close to India. It's an independent country. We were liberated from Pakistan. We were Pakistan. That was 1971. So we are very much surrounded by India. We have a little border with Myanmar, but it's a really small, tiny little country. But I'll give you some statistics. You'll understand what kind of country is it. Some of you may relate this thing. You may know this story, the recent building collapse in Dhaka, because it came into your newspapers. It became an issue here. So that's where I'm from. My convention is Bangladesh Baptist Church Fellowship. So when I'm here, I'm very much at home because I'm a Baptist. So thank you for welcoming me here. I'm leading a Baptist convention there. I'm serving there. So this is my 12th year. I'm in the ministry for 17 years, but this is my 12th year in this position, in the convention. So I'm really always encouraged, because when I see God has been doing wonderful things in this country, although it's a poor country and it's a Muslim majority country. But this convention, this church convention, in the beginning, I'm trying to give you kind of idea what we are doing and how God has been working in Bangladesh. And then I'll try to explain why we are doing this and why we should all continue to do this. So that's the way I want to lead you in this morning. So this is the convention, started with 11 churches. That was 1919. So we are now 90 plus years old in this ministry. It's an indigenous ministry. But there was no real growth up to the year 1971. That's the year we got independence as Bangladesh from Pakistan. So because we were waiting for the people to come to us, then we used to share the gospel. So that was the approach. We were running kind of reading rooms, and then new realization came, and there was a revival. Some of our leaders got training, mainly from Philippines, got theological training. Then we came up with different kind of approach that we don't need to wait for the people to come. We should go and share the gospel to the poor, to the people, to the villagers, to different ethnic groups there. So then the growth started. You can see from 1919, up to 71, we had only 7 churches, joined with this convention, but now we have 480. Every year we are having new churches, new believers joining with us. So it's really wonderful experience there in Bangladesh. So last year, God helped me to baptize 2,400 people and plant 222 churches. So that's the way we are growing. Lord has been really blessing us. So I told you it's a tiny little country, but we have 160 million people. So it's a big country if we consider in terms of population. So almost 90% people are Muslim. Second largest is the Hindu. And you can see Bangladesh, the Christian population is less than 1%. So sometimes we call us the microscopic minority. If you want to find us in the big population, it's so little. So, and literacy rate is very low, it's 40%, even less than that. So that is Bangladesh. And you can see the density, So believe me, it's a running train. It's not like the pose, So don't think people like to, stand on the roof, because inside is full, so there is no room there. So we have people everywhere. If you compare with other countries like Canada, you live here only 3.4, say maximum 4 people live in per square kilometer kind of land. And some other countries like China and India, where there are more than 1 billion people, but they have only, you see in China, they have 140 people living per square kilometer. Even in India, 364. But in Bangladesh, 1,200 people live in per square kilometer area. So you can imagine how big is the population. In your country, sometimes you have traffic jam, not that much. If you want to experience that, you come to Bangladesh, you will experience real traffic jam. Because here, I asked some people, how far do you live? They said it's 20 minutes. But in our country, we never say like this, because we don't know when to arrive, We always say like that the distance. We say it's 2 kilometers. 2 kilometers may take 2 hours. So, and some places we have people jam. You cannot move, So we have many people in the country. So that is Bangladesh. And Gary, he got some experience there. So you please come and get some experience from Bangladesh. So this is Bangladesh. And it's a Bengali people group. It's a big people group, 250 million people in this group. So almost 75% live in Bangladesh and 25% in India, West Bengal. So this is the 6th largest people group in the world, 250 million. And one of the largest people group, Muslim people groups. And this is the largest and least evangelized people group in the world. I'm not saying this is the unreached. This is the least evangelized people group in the world. So this is Bengali people group. So I belong to that people group. So I'm from there. So there are some challenges in Bangladesh we are facing right now, because the rising Islamic fundamentalism is coming. Its country is more like secular, though it's more than 90% Muslim, but still we consider it's a secular country because there is no law against sharing gospel or something. So we are free to do this, but there is a real problem. The rising Islamic fundamentalism and spreading hatred against Christians is coming from the Middle East and from other countries, and people are becoming more and more arrogant, and they are always sharing this kind of hatred so that people think differently. So we are facing this currently. So also we have some challenge of training and trained people. Church is growing, but we don't have that kind of training opportunity there. So it's a big challenge for us. So we are trying to train our people so that they can be really equipped and charged to do their ministry. So that is also a big concern. And also we are struggling to raise the second generation, the children, because we have a lack of resource to raise the second generation. Most of the churches are very small in terms of numbers. Some are with 20, 25 members. Some are with, it's about 20 to 500 kind of size. But in the rural area, we don't have that kind of resource to raise the second generation. That is also a big problem. And we have extreme poverty. You can imagine we have, very recently I was reading a newspaper here in Canada, and they mentioned that we have the labor, we have ultra cheap labor in Bangladesh. People get very low kind of salary. So that is really a big concern. Poverty is really bad there. And we have flood almost every year. You can see people are crying for the flood relief. Women are really starving because during the flood time, no work, no food. People don't have any savings. So that's the situation. So these are the challenges we are facing. But there is real some hope there. We have evangelism opportunities there. I told you, it's a kind of secular country. Most of the people are more like moderate. So we can take this opportunity. And another thing is, the Muslim leaders, the imams, the priests, they're all more like corrupted people. So people are really tired of them. So, and they have kind of positive impression that Christians are good people, they're loving people, they're caring people. So that kind of idea people have. Because some of the missionaries, they set kind of high standard and they showed that, and they know people are really caring. So that is the hope, that is the opportunity we have there. And also, it's a Muslim country. We don't have any law so that they can stop us. Legally, they cannot stop us sharing gospel. We are free to do this. The Constitution says we can practice and propagate our faith. So we are free to do this. But of course, there is a problem in the rural area because the local leaders, they have a lot of power, but legally they cannot stop us. So that is also a good thing. And people are really open to hear the gospel. Especially the Muslims, when we share the gospel, we try to relate with Islam, because in many ways, the Quran, they support Christianity. So that is a different subject. So we try to begin with that kind of thing. So they become confused when they refer from the Quran, and then we share the gospel. So that's the way we're trying to reach out the Muslims and other communities. And we always try to make friendship with the community. So that's the way we do. And the photo you're seeing there is a slum in Dhaka, it's from the capital city. We have some ministry there, so you can understand the poor people, they live in the slum. And in our country, there is a people group, they do the cleaning profession. So cleaning profession is a very low-graded kind of profession because they do it manually. There's no modern kind of technology there, so they use all the manual things. And they're totally untouched people group. People don't like them because they live in a slum. Once I was visiting one slum, and when I was entering, it was kind of hell. Real bad smell because there is no proper sanitation. And many people I found, they were drunk, they were fighting, they were beating their wives. Children were in a very dirty condition. And some people were playing very loud music, especially the Hindi music, they like it. And it was like a hell. And when I was crossing, and I reached to the Christian people and the Christian families, they're doing the same job, same kind of incomes, and same people group, but they're different people. They're totally transformed and different people. And I saw there is a real peace in that houses. People are not drunk, their children are clean, and they're not playing loud music, and sometimes I say, it seems like, the dogs are not even barking. So kind of different situations, And I was so amazed, It was really a wonderful experience for me when I see the real transformation. People are really changing. They're changing their behavior and their lives. So this is really a wonderful experience for me. And when I see this, I'm really encouraged. And these are the 4 things we are trying to do. The convention, we are trying to do this through the churches, through our member churches, that is to reach, teach, and then win and develop. So these are the four things is very important for our ministry. We want to reach, we want to teach, we want to win, and then develop. So this is very important for us, for our ministry. That's the way we are doing all kind of ministry. And we are trying to have kind of holistic approach. So this is very important. We try to contextualize the Islamic terms and other things so that people really can relate with their religion, with their context. And then we use different kind of literature, tracts, and then films, and mainly the one-to-one kind of approach. If we cannot do kind of crusade or mass evangelism in Bangladesh, if we do it, it's very dangerous because these are very allergic things in Bangladesh. If we use the word crusade, you can understand they'll kill us, So they don't like this. So we try to do kind of one-to-one kind of ministry, making friendship. And when they see Christians are different, what they say, they do it, and they want to see the love and caring people. So when we do the practical ministry, then they become really friendly with us, and that's really helpful for us. You can see women are sitting in a group. We have group formation kind of program. We provide kind of awareness and training through these groups. And the couple you are supporting, they are initiating this kind of group meeting. So these are Muslim women sitting in the meeting, and then we share different things, and that's the way we are trying to connect with the local people so that they can be really accepting the gospel. So this is the way we do. And we have kind of training program. We have some preachers and the pastors. We call them the barefooted pastors or barefooted preachers, who are really simple people. Many of them can hardly read the Bible. They're almost illiterate people, but they live with their community, and they're really very much effective in their community. They can easily, communicate with their people. So we are trying to train them so that they can be really reach out their community, their people. And also we have training and strategic plan for the evangelist. The right side, you can see the photo. They are all from Muslim backgrounds, Muslim background evangelists. So we are training them so that they can go back and really reach out their neighbors, their community people. So this is very important to training the barefooted pastors, barefooted preachers, and the evangelists. And they are really fruitful in their fields. And we initiate kind of relief works because flood is very common. Every year we have floods, so that's the way we do. We run some children homes. So this is very important to bring some children and put them. Those are mainly a poor and vulnerable situation. So we bring them and keep them in our homes. We run 15 children homes for boys and girls, and we provide nutrition, we provide shelter, education, and we send them to the community school. So this is the place we bring, and we are trying to raise the second generation Christians from the children homes. And the couples, they are initiating some other programs like the preschool, savings group, adult literacy, healthcare. So these are the components that we have under the church-based community development program. So this is the term we use, the church-based community development program. We bring people, the village people, to the church, and people, even the non-Christian, they come to the church and participate in our programs, and they see the difference. They see the Christians are really different people. They're really caring for, they're really doing the holistic mission. So that is very important for us. But, while we're doing this, we are also facing kind of threats, different kind of persecution. So this is not new, but it's increasing day by day. Most of our evangelists, they risk their life always because it's always risky doing this ministry, this kind of ministry. And we have different kind of torture, physical, mental. So it's day by day it's increasing. And sometimes our believers, they're forced to leave their village and they don't get their family property. And sometimes, people are grabbing their lands. So this is very common there. But still, church is growing. But one new thing is very, very, we are facing now, that is the death. In the church history, we never faced this kind of problem in our country. But during the last 6-7 years, we have experienced that kind of martyrdom in this country. So almost, in the year 2006, we had this incident. One of our evangelists, he was killed. In fact, he was slaughtered. The Muslim fundamentalists, they cut his neck and left his body just beside the road. And because he was the main guy to lead this Muslim evangelism among the Muslims. So it was really bad for us. And but I was there to run the funeral service. It is 4 hours drive from the capital city. So when I was there, so I found about 3,000 people. I mean, village people, they came to see that, and it was a huge gathering. And we were running this funeral service in the evening, and we could realize the killers were there. And when we were running that funeral service, and I offered a special, very different kind of prayer for the Muslims. When I was praying, I asked, Lord, please forgive the killers. And when I talk like this, this is totally different for the Muslims. They never do like this, and they can never pray like this. So it really helped. And after 2 years, the village women, especially who witnessed this thing, and they started complaining their husband, "You are the coward people. You knew who killed Goni. His name is Goni. But you didn't speak out." And that's the way we found the beginning. And then when we heard about this, we sent our evangelist there. You saw the photo, we are training the Muslim background believers to reach out. And then we started ministry there. And we found a real good response. And now we are preparing 6 couples to send to that area to cover some village, in a Muslim village, so that the couples can stay with them and really take this opportunity, because some people are really positive now. They're really positive to accept this, accept the Christians. So we want to take this opportunity. So we need your prayer. It's really risky. Working among the Muslims is very risky, and it's very new in our context. Because previously the mission work was mainly, the concentration was mainly among the Hindus and the tribals. But now we are trying to do this among the Muslims. So we are getting very good response. But previously the response was not really good, because there is a law. The Muslims, they have a law. It's not our country law, but the Muslim law, Islamic law, that is law apostasy. That is really bad. If any Muslim, they renounce their faith, so that demands the death penalty. So that's that kind of law, the Sharia law, Islamic law they have. But good thing is we don't have in our country this kind of law. And only a high level of commitment can keep Christian ministers in this ministry. Otherwise, it's very difficult. Without high-level commitment, people cannot stay in this ministry. So we need your prayer so that we can continue this kind of ministry in Bangladesh. So these are the couples. They're taking training, and it's a 10-month course. It's a very holistic kind of training, theology, and then community development. So they are becoming kind of all-rounders, so that they can initiate the pastoral ministry at the same time the development programs. We call them the pastors. At the same time, we call them the community development organizer. So that's the way we train them and we send them to the village. So these are the components: spiritual nurturing and also initiating the development programs, different kind of programs. And that's the way they are creating the opportunity to share the gospel. And that's the way church is growing in the villages, in the cities, in the towns. So that's what we are trying to do. And these are the steps. The couples are getting training and then going to the village. We are making the church house and the pastor's house so that they can live with the community. And then we continue to support the couples. And also we initiate different kind of development programs and support the development programs so that people's life can be really transformed in a holistic way. So that is the ministry we are doing. And now I want to say something about why we do this. You remember, in Revelation chapter 2, verse 1 through 8, if you read this, you'll find, the Lord is appreciating the church of Ephesus, that, they are so good, the good people, Lord's appreciation. I know, God, Lord says, I know your deeds, you're good people, I know your deeds, I know you are hard-working people, I know your perseverance. So these are the appreciation God is giving the people in Ephesus. So, and then you see in Revelation 2, chapter 2, you'll see God is continuing this way, appreciation continuing. He said, I know that you cannot tolerate the wicked man. So God knows everything. He knows these are the good people. These are the good people. And he said, you have persevered and have endured hardship for my name and have not grown weary. So these are the appreciation God is giving to these people, the church people. But still God says that, they have failed in some ways. And God complains like that, yet I hold this against you. So that's the complaint God is bringing for these people, the church people, because they've forsaken the first love. So that's the thing God is reminding them. They're doing good job, they're doing wonderful things, but still God wants something more. God wants something more. So that's what God wants to us something more. So that's what we are trying to do, so doing something more. Doing something more, that is the love. Don't forgetting the love and showing that love. And you remember in Ephesians chapter 1, verse 1, Paul started that letter saying like this, to the saint of Ephesus, the faithful in Christ. So there's the word. I like that word. Paul always, called the believer the saint. I don't know if we start like this, because sometimes, as the CEO of the organizations, I give kind of certificate, to whom it may concern. But, if start something, he's the man, he's a saint, I don't know whether people will accept it or not, But Paul always, mentioned like this. I never use this kind of word, This fellow is a saint in our church, I don't know whether you do it or not here. But Paul mentioned the saints of Ephesus. All the believers, they are saints, like this. We can claim that we are holy people, But here you see, God is demanding something more, and demanding something more for us, and that's the way we need to go ahead. And I want to draw your attention to these three things. There are three dimensions in Christian life. So that's what I want to remind you. That is confession, experience, and the mission. So three dimensions are like three legs of a stool, Tool. You know that we use this tool here, These are the three dimensions, how the stools stand. So I want to draw your kind attention to these three dimensions. And the first one is confession. You all confess, you all know these things, very common things. All believers, we confess like this. It's mentioned in Romans chapter 10:9. I confess with my mouth that Jesus is Lord, and I believe in my heart that He died for my sin, and God raised Him from the dead. So these are the confession. These are the things we always speak, and these are the things we do, and we did, and we continue doing this. But, so this morning I want to ask again, we confess this, but do we really believe it? Is very, very important. So am I trusting the truth of gospel? Or do we really trust? Do we really believe it? So this is a big question for us. But this confession is very much important for the Christian, for the believers. But the second thing is very experience. That is the experience. We are all experience this. We Christians, we always experience this life change. So life change kind of experience is very important for the Christians, for the believers. So that's what I want to challenge you this morning. So do you see the evidence of new heart in you? So that is very, very, very important. Now whether you are becoming like Jesus, whether we are becoming like Christ every day. Sometimes I refer like this, when I see the old couples, they look like them. They're very much influenced. They have very much influence with each other. I don't have this yet. I'm married for 14 years. When I work very fast. My wife, she's straight a little far, and sometimes I stop and try to adjust this thing because we are very new. Some of the old couples here, you are becoming like each other, so you are very, very influenced. So that is very important. This experience is very, very important. If we are with Lord Jesus, then we will be very much like Him. So this kind of experience is very important. And that's what I like to draw your attention here, and experience the fruit in our lives is very important. Becoming like Him and also experiencing the fruit in our lives. So this is also very important in our lives. So this is very important. This dimension, experiencing dimension, is very important in our life. And the last important thing is the mission. So mission to be obedient to God. What Jesus demanding to us, so we need to be obedient. So he's demanding us to be the mission-minded people, missional follower of Jesus. This term I like this, a missional follower of Jesus, to be like Him, to be like Him, and then to be the missional follower of Jesus Christ. So that's what is very important for us. And the last slide you can see, when I talk about mission, I like this, the integral mission. That's what we are trying to do, and I'm encouraging you to be. So that is very important. So integral mission is kind of very much balancing this great commandment and the great commission. So this is very important for us. You know, Matthew chapter 22, verse 37 to 39, that is the great commandment, loving God and loving and caring His people. So this is very important. And then the great commission, that is sharing good news of salvation to the world, and then discipling, baptizing, and teaching them. So these two things are very important. And if we are not taking these two things together, then our mission is not holistic. We are not really doing the real mission, or we are not really doing the real ministry. So we are trying to do this kind of mission, this kind of holistic ministry, and we need your special prayer, and I encourage you to be like this, to be part of this, and also try to be like this so that you can be kind of missional follower of Jesus Christ, and you can always think of this great commandment and the great commission, and so that you can fulfill the desire, and so that you can fulfill the mission of Lord Jesus Christ. And I need your special prayer for our ministry, and also I can assure you that I will also continue to pray for you. I'm here. I'll remember you so that you can grow, you can experience, and you can also be the missional follower of Jesus Christ. And thank you again for this wonderful opportunity, and God bless you all.
It is our desire to encourage you through this program. If you do not yet belong to a church, we'd love to have you come and connect with us. We have programs for all ages. If there is a spiritual need, or if you have been blessed through our service, we'd love to hear from you. You can contact us during regular office hours by phone, or you can email us. Thank you for watching our service. May God bless you.